Jai Shri Krishna Namaste Youth Day Conclave 2021 online live on YouTube on 16th of June from 5 p.m. onwards. We are having a youth who got so much talent, who got so much information, intelligence. Some youth are doctors, the entrepreneur, businessmen, business personalities, and also they are small kids who like to sing, love to sing, and also being in devotions. So we are bringing this unique show for the community, for the youth, and with the youth. Enjoy this event through the YouTube channel and Facebook as well, and share this video to all your friends and family in all different groups. So encourage more and more people to join, and also subscribe this channel to get the notification and join. Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste once again.
Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. Hope you all our devotees are safe and healthy. You can see now I'm back in the studio now, because after a long time I'm in the studio, uh, and it's different feeling about to coming in the studio. But anyway, when India had was ready to just get independence. Okay, so that time, what exactly happened? We know when this regime change, particularly British regime. So what happened that time? Research people from the Britain or somewhere, the few group of the people was sent by the certain group of the personalities to do the research. What we can do after giving independence to the Bharat, India, what we can do. And after all research is over, and they went back and give a report to them bosses. But while this research was going on, what happened? They see this one big public gathering happens. It's known as a Kumbh Mela. And those who was doing the research, they asked the people to be, why you all are gathering here and what exactly you do? This is we are celebrating our festivals. But who decide that this festival means that this Kumbh Mela will come on Haridwar this day? He said that our spiritual leaders and masters who make the Panchang, they decide. They went, I want to meet them. So they went into that area where they used to stay. And they found those who Panchang makers, they're not living any luxury. They were just living in small hut, in a small area. And then eventually they realized that now I need, they have a talk and then they left. When they reached, they told one thing. 2-3 people sit in a small hut and they declare that on the 14th of January in Haridwar, it must be a Kumbh Mela, and then hundreds of the thousands of people come together. So if you want to rule the India after independence, then destroy this Panchang system, destroy the culture and destroy the traditions and destroy the Indian ways of the living the life called the Hindu life living. and you need to start work on it. Otherwise, India will become a very most superpower personality, because if the people can sit in the hut and can bring the hundred of the thousand people together, you just visualize, if those people declare tomorrow, if anything else, everybody will follow. The first you must destroy the Guru Shishya Parampara. First you must destroy this cultural parampara. First you must destroy the tradition, and then after give independence to India. And that exactly happened post Indian independence. Till today we are facing. Today our continuation as a part 2, Meera will touch upon that point which I have mentioned, how systematically brainwashing has happened and how systematically we are running away from our culture and traditions. So without wasting time, I would like to bring on screen Meera. Jai Shri Krishna, Meera. Welcome back again, and nice to see you
Krishna.
once again in this our Dharma talk. And not only me, but may our all viewers are so excited to see you, to hear you, and also to share your word with the youth, which very relevant of during this time. So without wasting time, I'm going to be asked Meera to continue with her talk, and then after that we will continue about understanding.
My pranam to Guruji and namaste and Jai Shri Krishna to all viewers. Once again, thank you Guruji for having me here in this live session of Dharma Talk to complete the topic of Hindu youth, which we started on last Tuesday. I also want to thank all viewers for all the appreciation and comments you all gave for last week's session, and my thankful greetings to the prominent guest speaker of this show, Mohanji Rao, for giving me this opportunity to complete last week's topic on today's session. Thanks to all. So I had 3 points to talk about Hindu youth, from which last week I spoke the point number one, how external and internal factors are or have contributed to divert the mind of Hindu youth. And today I'll be covering the remaining points. The number two, techniques of brainwash that are going on at different platforms. And number three, how to uplift the youth for Sanatan Dharma. Okay, so let's start this session with the point number two. Last week, we listed the external factors from which our youth's mind are being diverted. The techniques of brainwash are very much connected to those external factors which we listed last week. Actually, the external factors are used as platforms to do the brainwash, and the techniques are not hidden from us. It's happening right in front of our eyes. We just need to be aware enough to notice them. I want to highlight some of them. Number one, they question our beliefs. They make us feel backwards, gawars, because we follow an ancient practice. They portray our rituals as a blind faith. They use our own practices and show them as Western discoveries and inventions. Let me give you some concrete examples about this. Example number one, worshipping and honoring nature and animals is part of our dharma, but we are shown as communal for worshipping Gomata, Nagadevata, trees, plants, etc. For example, it is said that we worship Gomata just because we consider her as a mother or because Shri Krishna used to adore her. That's just one part, but the reality is way beyond that. We actually worship Gomata because we humans can utilize each and everything of her, starting from her milk, urine, and even the dung. In India, there are many companies and groups of Gorakshaks, the protectors of Gomata, that have started producing eco-friendly paint colors from cow dung, which are free of toxins and are antibacterial. The world is now taking a U-turn and taking us back to those ancient practices and the way of life. Example number two, offering water and milk to Shivling. You all know one movie which was launched with the message of not offering milk to Shivling. Rather, we should give that milk to a poor or a hungry person. The very same person who portrayed the leading role in that movie recently came up saying that he spent 2 lakhs for going to Vaishno Devi Mandir, which he could have donated to those who are in need. Our question is, should we stop wasting our money to watch their movies and rather help the poor? Will they agree? Absolutely not, because they are here to make money by hook or by crook. Moreover, do we know the actual reason behind offering water and milk to Shivling? Do we know what Shivling symbolizes? How does it appear and why? What are the arrangements of a Shiv Mandir and why is it so? We don't know because we lack knowledge, and when anyone comes and questions our practices, we blindly agree and start questioning our own dharma. It's not bad to question such things. We get answers by questioning. But it is bad to not search about the truth behind our practice. It is bad to stop practicing our dharma. It is bad to start instigating other Hindus to stop too. We all have witnessed that living the so called modern and advanced life leads us to bad health and pandemic. I'm sorry to say this. Furthermore, we Sanatanis must thank the current pandemic for bringing front and bringing back many ancient practices of Sanatan Dharma about an eco-friendly lifestyle that Sanatan Dharma has already proved the science behind those practices. For example, the 14 days of quarantine, following a vegetarian diet, worshipping and thanking the Mother Nature, greeting with Namaste, that we have been doing way before than the Western world. The example number three, they call our Hindu practices as a myth. They call our beliefs and history fact as a myth. We need to stop calling our history as a myth. It's high time that we accept our glorious past as truth which happened. If you require any proofs of Mahabharata, if it really happened, or even Ramayana, just search now in Google. For Mahabharata, for example, just search now the lost city of Dwarka. Search Mohenjo-daro, search Harappa. You will find that these are none other than the few cities which disappeared during the epic war of Mahabharata. And Dwarka was submerged in the ocean because of one reason. Do also search the reason behind the submerging of Dwarka city too. Actually, you can find that in Mahabharata text also. Example number four. The fourth example is about the things that Western world is embracing, and we Sanatanis never valued them when it was our own. We acknowledge it only when the Western world brought it to us with the modern names. There's one saying which I heard somewhere, योग जब योग था तब हमने नहीं स्वीकारा योग जब योगा बना तब हमने अपनाया. What this means is that when yog was yog, we Sanatanis did not accept this. And only when yoga became yoga, we embraced it. The very same thing happened with karma, dharma, moksha, dhyan, etc., which became karma, dharma, moksha, dhyana, and so on. Attention, Sanatan Dharma is for all. It cannot be restricted to Hindus only. It's like a medicine. Sanatan Dharma is just like a medicine which has no religion. Right? Likewise, Sanatan Dharma has no discrimination for its practitioners. And restricting Sanatan Dharma for Hindus only, that itself is an insult because it devalues our Dharma only. My purpose of giving this example is not to restrict our practices to Hindus only, but the thing is, we question our practices, and when the very same thing comes from outside, it is accepted by all of us. My question is why? The problem has to be fixed, and that is an internal factor. Example number five. There are series and movies showing disrespectful scenes about our Devi Devtas. The show they show so much entertainment that in 100% they show some 1 or 2% of the insulting scenes, and we end up saying, but the whole series was it like that? and we continue watching it. We end up staying quiet just because of entertainment. Will you keep quiet if someone insults your family member? No, right? You will take a stand. Then why don't we take the right approach to remove such propaganda or brainwash that is going on? Remember, the Devi Devatas that they insult are the ones for whom we celebrate our vibrant festivals. Our duty doesn't end on celebrating our festivals for entertainment. Rather, it starts there. We only have the right to celebrate if we are willing to agree that those Devi Devatas mean something to us. We cannot have double face. One side honor Devi Devta during Navratri, honoring Devi Ma during Navratri, and the other side we stay quiet when we see an insulting scene about that Devi Ma coming on our screens. How's that possible? Same for Ganeshji, Krishna, Radha, Shivji, same for all. Don't forget that somehow we also call our family members as Swaroop, form of those Devi Devtas. We call our daughter and daughter-in-laws as Lakshmi. We call our mother as Ma, the Shakti behind our existence. The husbands as Pati Parameshwar, which means Bhagwan. The wife as Ardhangini, the better half, the Adi Shakti, and so on. All of this was possible, and it's happening because of the internal and external factors which we mentioned last week. Nobody could question our beliefs, call our rituals a blind faith, make us feel backwards, or to use our practices as they so-called discoveries. If we had an interest to search about the science behind our practices, if our history had been different, if we had the curiosity to know about our history, and if we had the sense of pride and responsibility to bring the truth forward and reply with the right information to those who try to brainwash not only our youth but all of us, the scenario could have been different. Well, it still can be, because thankfully it's not that late. So let's take the advantage and see how we can still uplift the Hindu youth for Sanatan Dharma, which is the point number 3 of the topic of Hindu youth given to me by Guruji. We have already spoken about education, communication, history, and etc. But the most important thing is to understand the basics of Sanatan Dharma. We know many people who can't even define a dharma, who can't even explain what Hinduism is, what Sanatan Dharma is, and why do we have so many Devi Devtas. Our foundations are becoming weak. In fact, we all have already noticed that we have already become weak. Let me give an example. In order to have a strong and beautiful infrastructure, we need to build and strengthen the foundation first, then the columns, and then the roof. What I mean is, we need to solve the internal factors first, which are the basic parts. And after the structure, we close the building with walls to prevent those external factors to get in and create chaos. And after closing the building, we give a pretty finish to the whole building to look beautiful and attractive from inside out. The finishing will be the healthy lifestyle which leads to a happy mind, body, and soul. We will definitely have windows to keep updated air inside our culture, and we'll also have doors to welcome the whole world to get into our practices. My message is clear. The foundation is the basic knowledge about our dharma. Let's learn at least to define properly Sanatan Dharma. Let's start by defining religion and dharma and see what is the difference between both. Religion is basically a set of beliefs created by a human or a group of humans in a certain period of time and at a certain place of earth. Whereas dharma is a word which doesn't have a direct translation in English, but we can explain in a simple way. Dharma has two major meanings. One is duty and other is righteous. In the context of this show, Dharma Talk, the word dharma essentially means about duties. And dharma is not something man-made. It is universal, timeless, and scientific. In the context of Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma, Dharma is not about religion at all, and we can see that in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 4, slok number 7 and 8, which we all know that slok. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Slok number 7, this was. And slok number 8. परित्राणाय साधुना विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Shlok number 7 means whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, O Arjuna, at that time I manifest myself on earth. Shlok number 8 means to protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to re-establish the principles of righteousness. I incarnate on this earth age after age. It is clear that when we talk about incarnation and souls, we cannot discriminate anyone by religion or caste. So these shloks definitely don't mention dharma as religion at all. Just like a father or a mother, God cannot discriminate its child or his child by religion. It can only protect them for being in the path of righteousness. Do you agree with me? I guess so. Now let's define the word Sanatan. Sanatan is a Sanskrit word which means eternal. The word Shashwat is also used to mention Sanatan, where Shashwat also means something which is eternal and doesn't need to be proved that it exists because it already exists in the universe. So basically, Hinduism is not a religion but a philosophy of life, the Sanatan Dharma, eternal duties of God to uphold the existence. And culture is nothing else than that. It is the way of life, habits, customs, rituals, daily practices, the philosophy of life. Nowadays, we can see that there are two types of religion, the polytheistic and monotheistic. So now let's see how Sanatan Dharma is considered and why, and define properly Sanatan Dharma in these two terms, polytheistic and monotheistic. Commonly, Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma and Greek religion are considered polytheistic because there are many personalities to worship, and Christianity and Islam are considered to be monotheistic, which worships and believes that there is only one God. But according to our scriptures in Sanatan Dharma, God is one, just like the other two, but he manifests in different forms. We can prove this by quoting Shlok number 1.164.46 from Rigved, which is Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Vadanti, which means there's only one truth for God, which the wise saints call him with various names. This verse is reminding us that there are many paths that lead to God. So we can say that Bhagwan is polymorphic monotheistic. Our Sanatan Dharma is polymorphic monotheistic. But in Sanatan Dharma, we also have Devi Devtas, which have been categorized in as main Devi Devtas and other Devi Devtas, which are also part of Bhagwan. This means that there are different levels for Devi Devtas too. So we can say Sanatan Dharma is a multi-level polymorphic monotheistic. But there's also one twist. We can also see in Sanatan Dharma that we have female power also, the Shakti. We know that we have male power and female power, which are always together, the Shiv and Shakti. You can also see Sita, Ram, Radha, Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, Parvati Mahadev, Saraswati and Brahma, etc. and many more. So Sanatan Dharma actually is a multi-level polymorphic bi-monotheistic. And this is also a complete definition for Bhagwan according to our scriptures. I have to mention and thank Sri Amoglila Prabhu from ISKCON from whose video I heard this explanation of monotheistic and polytheistic, the difference between both. So we Hindus or Sanatanis, after knowing the eternal truth about our Dharma, we should have as a sole general objective of Dharma Rakshati Rakshitaha. which means Dharma protects those who protect Dharma, which is actually a slogan for of this show. So today, let's protect Dharma for future generations to get benefit from it. Let's preserve and promote Sanatan Dharma's philosophy of life through activities, presentations, seminars, classes, games, camps, shlok recitals, reading our ancient scriptures, dance and music, performances, and many more. But all this we can do by using creative and innovative ideas in this modern science and technology era. Remember, all this without losing the essence of our rich and ancient culture. Final notes to those who say that we don't believe in religion, but we believe in spirituality. Well, let me tell you that Sanatan Dharma was the first one to say that we humans aren't this materialistic body. We are souls. Aham Brahmasami. I am Brahma. I am divine. Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, slok number 13, also quotes that we are souls. It says, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptihi dhirastatra namuhyati. Just as the embodied soul continuously passes from childhood to youth and to old age, similarly, at the time of death, the soul passes into another body. The wise are not deluded by this. And to those who say that we don't believe in religion and spirituality, but we believe in humanity, for them too, Sanatan Dharma offers some teachings which are thousands of years old. Sanatan Dharma has it all. It says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam from Maha Upanishad. The world is one family. Second one, Sarva Bhuta Hite Rata. Every living being's welfare is connected. Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We pray that may all beings everywhere be happy and free. The Shanti Mantra, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya. May all beings be happy and free from illness. Sanatan Dharma has answers to all your questions. It is a complete package. We just need to be a little curious and to know all these teachings from in and out. So now I'll briefly resume the third point of this discourse, which is about how to uplift the Hindu youth for Sanatan Dharma. Definitely, we need to communicate more often about Sanatan practice to our Hindu youth, give education about a real history, not only give education, but also open up their wisdom, make possible changes to our lifestyle, schools, kendras, classes, etc. Parental education and self-education about our actual history and culture, slowly start to implement Vedic education system in our Hindu communities if possible, promote beliefs of yogas, dhyanas and sadhana, make good use of social media, film and television industry, follow good and informative and inspiring pages, personalities and websites, become role models to others. Last but not the least, stay aware of current scenario and changes that are going on and bring awareness to other people too. All of us needs to share the wrong things which are happening at different platforms. We need to take a stand, and don't worry, it's not called communal for taking a stand for what's right, because we aren't doing this for Hindus only. We are doing for the whole world. We are open for whole world. Anything that you find wrong, and if you are not comfortable to post on your social media, then you can share with any one of us in private. We will take the right stand, but at least share to us. At least perform your duty. Share to someone. Share with me, Guruji, or someone else you know. Because we know many teams who are working for this cause in digital platform and even in ground level, legal teams. So feel free to share with us. Your names and details won't come anywhere, we assure you. But take the right stand. Recognize what's going wrong and take the right. Even if it's just about reporting such a video or a post or a comment, anything, report it. And I will end my discourse about Hindu youth by quoting something which resonates with me and something that I strongly believe in. And I want our youth to also feel in and follow it. It says, ध्यान रखो कि स्वतंत्रता कभी उच्छृंखलता न बने, which means be careful that freedom doesn't become disrespectful. In other words, having freedom or being modern does not mean to disrespect or to not follow our own roots, our own culture. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad. Obrigada. Over to Guruji.
Jai Shri Krishna, it was very nice and wonderful talk. Let me tell you, I can tell you, we mustn't. That's why I started with my talk about independence, freedom. After the freedom, have we given a justice to our culture, our tradition, our language, and more important, our faith? At a certain extent, yes, we have. But when we come to realizations of we have, it is good enough for us to sit back and relax and not to see something which is we know is not supposed to be. Many people don't even know. I know Miraben and we all of us always not to be completely watch about it, but we just think about it. In these days, I think OTT platform started in this in India basically. If I look at that way, I don't know about other country, but India, I definitely because we monitor India. This OTT platform which started about it, this web series and everything, and I think Mohan Bhai is not watching because he's traveling, but definitely one day we will talk about it. This OTT platform is using this such a bad language and misinformation about our culture and our tradition, which we need to be watch on it. Our children are actually most of time is hooked up. So Miraben, what do you think about how we can tell to the children, okay, we stay away from this kind of the OTT platform, and then how we can, we as a parents, regulate that there is a something, some ways to do it, or because you may have done a lot about research on it, but I'm still working on it. But if you know something basics about it, how to regulate or control house level to ask our children not to just hooked up with this OTT platform.
Well, I think that if we want to divert our mind from A to B, we need to give that B to them. We need to have another option. If it's not OTT, then we need to give another option. What I see here is that there are some beautiful shows about our histories. For example, Ahilya Bai, which is coming on Sony Television, which is a very good show. During the pandemics, we had the Ramayana Mahabharata show. So many parents shifted their kids' mind from that YouTube or this platform to those series, and many kids learned from those series. We need to give them that option B and bring their mind and their interest in that section. So we need to have those kind of shows or series about our culture coming up so that they can also start learning from it.
As we talk about this Ramayana and Mahabharata serial came, I know when started last year, when this during the lockdown, I think that Ramayana and Mahabharata was the highest TRP driven uh, TV serials was that, and yet they was made in I think sometime in the 80s. But it was, and I saw some children was taking so interest on it. They was acting, they was doing some kind of the making the videos about it, and they were showing them interest. So as she mentioned about it, If we don't want our children to go to the A, then give them a B. And subject is, we as a parents are not giving them a B. And B is, there's lots of platforms available, even in fact on YouTube and any other platform. We can tell children, this is, we can watch it. This is, we can watch it. This is, you can read it. But unfortunately, now is parents has to take 1-2 step forward for a better future. Because I always say brainwashing is happening. Now you're going to ask me this question about it. Sometimes children don't listen to us. And therefore, I'm coming with a very exciting show next week, Tuesday, which is called the Generation Gap. It's called the Generation Gap. In that show, I'm working on it. I hopefully Mohan Bhai will finish his journey of traveling. So in that show, Mohan Bhai and Meera Ben will be the guest, and there will be a talk about it. What exactly generation gap means, and we can see generation gap in our talks in that next week talk. It will be the generation gap. You all of us know how who is a Mohan Bhai, and you can see now who is a Meera Ben. And there will be definitely it will be a generation gap talk. But generation gap means not that we just run away from the responsibilities as a parents. We must play our role. And for you to understand this very exciting show, I'm coming with it next week, Tuesday. But tomorrow, we will have a no Gujarati talk. We will have a youth conclave. 2 hours of the youth conclave will start. And this is the youth month we are having. And then I'm thankful to Meera Ben, who has given her time two Tuesdays inconsistently and gave her knowledge, information, talk, and everything. And I always say, this is only beginning, is not end. So next week, Tuesday, we will have a very beautiful talk again with Mohan Bhai and Meera Ben. And then these talks will be continued. This show is growing very nicely, is Dharma Talk. Is helping so many youth, is helping so many our senior people, most people as well. And I must say, I had received so many good comment about it. Even the senior most personalities who cannot comment because they are not tech people, but when they meet me, they says, you was wonderful last week, and they're guaranteed this week also they are excited and they watched you. So definitely this show will be also in the top of the range as others as well. So let's see, let's pray, and let's work together to protect our dharma. And as she says, dharmo rakshit rakshatah. And then our screen also says, a protected dharma will protect us. We need to protect our dharma. So thank you, Meera Ben, for coming, giving your time, sharing your knowledge, and also in the same time, giving a confidence to the youth. We'll see you next week, Tuesday again. And till that, everybody, please stay safe. And tomorrow evening, we will be in our youth conclave. Very exciting, very, very powerful, very, very vibrant event is coming. So let's see. And you all must watch. If you want to see, I have created the link. The link after this show over, you can see on my channel. There is a link already is there. You can share it to your all friends and family members on YouTube. It is in a Facebook too. So you can share it, that link, to as many people. Let us celebrate Youth Day with the youth and for the youth. ओ ईश्वर भजिए तने मोटू छे तुझ नाम गुण तारा नित्य गाइए थाय अमारा काम. हेतलावि हसावतूं सदा राख दिल साफ भूल कदी करिए अमे तो प्रभु करजो माफ। ओम देव शांतिरंतरिक्षगुं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिराप शांतिरोषधय शांति वनस्पतय शांतिर्विश्वे शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वगुं शांति शांतिरेव शांति श्यामा शांतिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste. Youth Day Conclave 2021 online live on YouTube on 16th of June from 5 p.m. onwards. We are having a youth who got so much talent, who got so much information, intelligence. Some youth are doctors, the entrepreneur, businessmen, business personalities, and also they are small kids who like to sing, love to sing, and also being in devotions. So we are bringing this unique show for the community, for the youth, and with the youth. Enjoy this event through the YouTube channel and Facebook as well, and share this video to all your friends and family in all different groups. So encourage more and more people to join, and also subscribe this channel to get the notification and join. Jai Shri Krishna, Namaste once again.